My mic is on. Okay, and it is 6 o'clock Eastern. Thank you for joining me again. It's been a bit of a hectic week. Please know that my thoughts and prayers are with the people who live in Los Angeles. It's been just absolutely horrible there, and the pictures have been really scary to see. And I know many of you, especially on the eastern side of the country, are freezing right now. I just spoke with a friend in Atlanta who got snow today, and I know that's a rare occurrence in the South. So, thinking of everyone, wishing everyone safety, and yeah, a safe and calm weekend. Thank you. Okay, so if you're new to these sessions, I'm Tara. I'm a mindfulness meditation teacher, and I'm also participating in Dryuary, or if you want to call it damp January or dry-ish January. Any of those apply. I'm personally not drinking at all this month, um, but a lot of you may just be cutting back or only designated on drinking on designated days, and whatever works for you. I'm just here to support that with these meditation center sessions. So today is day 10 of dry January for me, and just some observations I've been making. I slept 8.5 hours last night. That was pretty magical. My dreams continue to be very vivid, and I think I'm spending more time in the REM sleep stage, which has made my sleep seem even more satisfying and restful. I'm definitely more hydrated. My skin has gotten a lot clearer, even though I haven't changed up my skincare routine at all. And this week, like many of you, I've returned to my normal routine. So things have become more stressful. And of course, just seeing what's going on around the country and in the state of California has been pretty nerve wracking. But I'm learning to deal with my anxiety in other ways rather than pouring myself a glass of wine at the end of the day, and mindfulness has played a big role in that. Um, During the last few sessions, I've talked a lot about drinking to unwind at the end of the day, but now that it's Friday, I wanted to touch on another reason that many of us may drink, and that's to have fun, right? As a naturally shy person myself, I started drinking in college to loosen my inhibitions and enjoy myself in this new environment. Throughout my 20s, that kind of became a reason anytime I entered a new social scene, right? Whenever I started a new job and went out after work with my new coworkers, whenever I moved and met new friends, anytime I was in a new social situation. That hasn't really been my reason in a long time, especially since settling down and having a family. But the thought or value is still there, particularly when the weekend rolls around. There's this idea of let's celebrate. And that is nearly synonymous with let's pour the wine. And I know that for many, the weekend can lead to binge drinking. So with that in mind, in today's session, I'd like to speak more to that idea or tendency. So, as I mentioned in Wednesday's session, mindfulness activates the part of our brain that allows us to see our habits and to question them or challenge them. So, I might see that younger part of myself pouting, telling me that my night is going to suck if I don't drink, or, I'm going to be dull, it's going to be boring, or that no one will enjoy being around me. And I can comfort that part of myself while reminding her of ways, I'm sorry, not days, that overdrinking brings a lot more negative than good, right? So, how after one or two drinks, my fun, bubbly buzz turns much darker and how it leads to problems like physical danger, vulnerability, hangovers. None of that is fun, right? If you listen to these sessions for other overindulgences, the same might be said for that too. So consider how you might feel after eating a few bites of cake versus after eating two slices, or how you might feel after one plate of food versus two. One may be satisfying and still allow you to enjoy your evening. Two may leave you uncomfortable and sitting on the couch, not really enjoying the aftermath. So I'll be speaking to that tendency in the meditation ahead. So again, I'm going to take us through the RAIN process in this meditation, and that involves recognizing any difficult feelings and cravings that are present. A, for allowing cravings to be present without judgment. Again, as I've said before, we have a tendency to try to push those cravings away when they arise, or try to ignore them, try to deny them, resist them. And that often leads to an internal struggle, self judgment, and ultimately it can lead us to kind of give up on our aspirations or our goals for the month. So when we allow them to be there and accept them as normal, as natural, it's a lot easier to work with them and to kind of intervene. The I in RAIN stands for investigating those cravings and the beliefs surrounding them. And then the N stands for nurturing the vulnerable parts of ourselves affected by those cravings or any negative feelings that may arise. And this is all meant to normalize, as I said, any cravings or difficult feelings that are likely to arise as we go dry or cut back, while keeping those cravings or difficult feelings from running over us or derailing us from our intentions. So, with that, let's begin. I invite you to find a comfortable position, one that will allow you to be alert but relaxed for the next 20 minutes. So, you could be seated upright in a chair like I am here, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can sit on the floor, maybe on a cushion, or you can lie down. Just consider what your body wants, what suits you best right now. And once you find the position that best suits you, go ahead and lower your gaze. You can either close your eyes altogether, or if you prefer to keep your eyes open, just kind of lower them and rest your gaze on an object, maybe 2 or 3 feet in front of you, something stationary. Good. And I'll go ahead and lead us into the breath work now. So do your best to relax any obvious areas of physical tension and draw your attention to your breath. Breathing in deep into your belly for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Holding for 2, 1. And out for 4 from your belly, then your chest. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Breathing in again for 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2, 1. And out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. One more time in. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 2, 1. And out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And now just allow your breath to be natural. The breath is always with you, recognizing this breath and this one. Allow your awareness of it to serve as an anchor to the present moment. If the breath is not a good home base for you, you might anchor your attention to another sensation instead. You could draw your attention to your hands and how they feel as they rest on your lap or on the floor, on your chair. Or you might draw your attention to your feet and where they rest on the ground, or perhaps where your backside meets the surface that you are sitting or lying on. Sound can also serve as a great anchor. You might draw your attention to the soft noises around you, perhaps the hum of the heater, the ebb and flow of nature sounds, or even traffic outside your window, the start and stop of voices in the other room. With relaxed, interested attention, discover what the sensations of your chosen anchor feel like, moment to moment. Where is your attention now? Each time you notice that your mind has wandered off is a moment of mindfulness. Gently bring your attention back to the breath's inflow and outflow, or another chosen anchor, offering a relaxed, wakeful presence. And now let's take a scan of your body, starting at the crown of your head and working your way down your face, your hairline, your forehead, your eyebrows, eyelids, eye sockets, your jaw and cheeks, nose, lips, chin. Just continue to work your attention downward, down the sides of your neck, the base of your skull, and down the back of your neck, the front of your neck. Meet any tense areas with kindness and do your best to relax them. Move your attention down the shoulders, the arms and hands, the chest and upper back. Again, relaxing what you can. Working your way down your torso and lower back, into the pelvis and bottom. Continue to meet any tense areas with kindness and soften them. Finally, draw your attention to where your body makes contact with your surface. Here you might let out a sigh and imagine melting downward as the whole body breathes. And allow the earth to hold you with patience, stability. Now call to mind your intention for this month, whether it's to stop drinking altogether, to only drink on certain days, or to reduce the number of drinks you have within a given period of time, or to perhaps manage another habit that doesn't serve you. Visualize that intention as clearly as possible. What does that intention mean to you right now and your plans for this evening? As you become aware of your intention, draw your focus to any challenging feelings that may arise in response. Maybe you sense some resistance, doubt, or anxiety. If this is normally the time of day when you would pour yourself a drink, you may be experiencing some cravings. Just take a moment to be aware of those feelings. What sensations are you most aware of? What thoughts, images, or even colors arise? Just recognize their presence. If your thoughts are racing, or if you're not sensing much at all, recognize that too without judgment. Just say hello to whatever is most dominant, perhaps the situation's overall tone. Now ask your heart to let this dominant feeling be. Perhaps find a willingness within yourself to pause and accept this moment. You might mentally whisper yes or welcome. If you find yourself saying no to the experience, you can say yes to that feeling of resistance too. Whatever is here, this belongs. This too. You are simply noticing what is true for you without judging or controlling. You can be the sky, that vast open sky that can hold all the weather systems. Now zoom in on one challenging thought or feeling, whatever is most dominant, and just approach it with curiosity. Explore this thought or feeling more deeply, as if you're holding a magnifying glass to it. What does it believe? What stories does it tell you? What does it think will happen if you don't overindulge tonight? If you could personify this feeling, what would it look like? How old are they? How are they dressed? What does their voice sound like? Now draw your attention back to your breath, breathing naturally. And take another quick scan of your body. Where do you feel this emotion or thought? How does it feel? You might name any physical sensations that arise, such as tightness, throbbing, burning, heaviness. What does the most vulnerable part of you need most right now? How does it want you to be with it? You might place your hand on your heart or wherever your body is affected, feeling the warmth and reassurance from your palm. You may imagine pulling a younger version of yourself onto your lap and embracing them. Or you might call on the presence of someone you consider deeply loving and understanding, such as a grandparent, child, or pet, living or deceased, or a spiritual figure. Feel their compassion flowing into you, supporting you. And now you might offer yourself some reassurance. It's okay. I'm here. I'm with you. Discover what happens when you bring an unconditionally loving heart to the parts of you that are uncertain, hurting, or vulnerable. To close our practice, I invite you to call to mind one success you've had since you've started this journey. It doesn't have to be a big one, just something that you can give yourself credit for. Imagine holding a picture of it and smiling upon it. As you proudly look at this picture, you might say to yourself, I am capable, or yes, I can. Now envision a big gold sun above you, bathing you in its bright, warm rays. And just rest here in possibility for 1 minute. As you move forward with your evening, keep this image and this reassurance in mind. When you're ready, draw your attention back to your contact with the earth, the sounds around you, your breath. If you haven't, you may now open your eyes, taking in your peripheral vision and then the sights in front of you. If it feels good, you may stretch, bend over, and slowly return to an upright posture. Thank you. Namaste. Feel free to comment or send me a message if you have any questions. You're welcome to listen to the recordings whenever you want. But as you move forward over the next couple of days, just try to keep this exercise in your back pocket. If you feel a craving arise, just pause for a moment, tune into the breath or another anchor that we've practiced. If you just recognize any cravings or difficult feelings that you have and try to accept them as natural, allow them to be there without judging yourself for them. You are human. Try to remember that. And you might nurture yourself by offering some loving kindness statements or visualizations like we did in the meditation. And remind yourself of any successes you've had so far. Give yourself lots of credit for what you're doing. You're doing a great job. I'll be holding these live sessions throughout January on Mondays and Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and again at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and again at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you like this meditation, please give me a thumbs up and please follow or subscribe. I'd love to have you. Thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. Stay